Hi, everybody, and welcome into Cannatas in the Kitchen. Harry McCullough here, of course, with the two chefs. Chef George Caslow, how you doing, big man?
All right, Harry, how about yourself?
Man, I'm doing great. Tony DeZalvo, how you doing, big man?
Just wonderful.
71 years of goodness coming out of Cannatas Kitchens. I was just saying, of course, a lot of good things coming, always on sale, a lot of produce and stuff. But the star of our show today will be a 7 steak, right?
That's correct. And we're going to start off with the 7 steak. We're going to let Tone get a little start on that. It's being braised, so why don't you give us a little information on that, Tone?
This is our, you're gonna see it in the store. What I had was tenderized at the store. I mean, you can take it home and kind of pound it out, but let us do it at the store. Just ask, any of your butchers to run it through the machine. That way, save you cooking time, and it'll be nice, juicy, and tender.
I didn't know y'all would do that, but you said that's no charge if you can buy it. Like I said, you can beat it at the house if you want.
Right.
But actually, they have a machine that'll actually tenderize it for
Right.
you, and it'll cut down on cooking and make it nice and
Exactly.
Yeah.
Make it easier for you.
Right.
Cut down on cooking time.
I mean, you're looking from, honestly, 2 to 3 hours cooking time to really break down the tendons, or really 15 to half an hour.
Yeah, well, that's great. And yeah, get to know your butchers. They can do all kind of wonderful things for you.
We'll do it for you. When you come into the store, we'll cut things for you,
Right.
just the way you like it cut.
I'm gonna start it off by just searing both sides, and then I'll add a few of our vegetables to go along with our 7 steaks, some onions, some mushrooms, some bell peppers, which we have on sale this week as well.
Bell peppers.
Sounds good. So these are $2.39 a pound, these 7 steaks. So you can feed a nice family with that.
Family for 4 for under $10.
And what I did, I mean, that's a full steak right there. I mean, these are cut in half. Just, really, even the portion size are a little bit hefty on these, even being cut in half.
They're cut in half basically to fit nicely in
Right.
the pan,
Yeah.
and so that the pan is not overloaded.
Right.
Overloaded pan, the meat will boil rather than sear. And Tony wants to get a good sear
I see. That's a good tip.
on the meat. While he's doing that, why don't we go over some of the other items we have here on the counter? We do have some seafood sausage today.
Seafood sausage, man. That
Okay,
sounds
Louisiana
wonderful.
seafood. And we also have some green bell peppers. They happen to be jumbos, and they happen to be on sale, and they're stuffed with the seafood stuffing.
That's these guys, huh?
That's
So-
these guys right here. So what you see here is actually stuffed, split, and it's really a beautiful item. I suggest, we haven't done this in 8 months, and I really suggest to our customers to try this. It's going very well. We've also got a pepperoni cheese sausage this week, something different.
Ooh.
If you scraped off the top of a pizza with a knife and tasted it, that's what this would taste like. So this is like pizza stuffed into a
That's
sausage.
like 1 and 1A, right?
No
Seafood
crust.
and
Exactly.
pepperoni pizza.
1 and 1A. Now again, here we have the 7 steak. And just so you know, it comes from the chuck or the shoulder. And what we do have here, other than these jumbo green peppers, we've got Fuji apples this week, and we've got some California red grapes. We've got Roma tomatoes, and we brought in some, I'm going to call them pink or red grapefruits, which I have on the counter here. And actually on the inside, they'll be pinkish
Nice
or
pink.
reddish. And we brought in some sourdough bread because the 7 steaks that Chef Tony's working on will have a little sauce, a little gravy, and we don't want to lose any of that.
Well, look
We're
how
gonna
good that
eat-
looks.
Oh, that looks beautiful.
Yeah, that's a great shot of what that tenderizer machine will also do for the steaks, huh?
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
gonna go ahead and add the vegetables and some beef stock, and also a little bit of Chianti, just to kind of give it a little bit bolder flavor. Any red wine will do.
And he's using a big red wine like Chianti.
Right.
Stand up to the big flavors that he's producing in the pot right now. Chef's got a little beef stock
Beef stock.
going in.
It's always, y'all cook a lot with that, actually. You know,
beef stock.
as I'm learning as we go, I've learned that that's a good ingredient.
You're building on flavors. I mean, you can use chicken stock, vegetable
Right.
stock. I mean,
Veal
I call it the
stock.
olden days. I mean, I don't know too much about olden days. But everybody was water. Even for your gumbos and everything, it's
Right.
chicken stock or a beef stock. You're building on flavors. You're not going to go to a whole lot of flavor from water.
Right.
So that's an extra level of flavor,
right.
that you're going to get in the dish.
Again, you're going to let this cook down. Again, it shouldn't take you long too much, just enough to really cook down the vegetables. And again, the meat's going to be real tender. You know, it being tenderized, and it's going to cook in all the flavors.
And our vegetable for today that's going to go with the 7 steaks?
Ratatouille.
Ratatouille. Now, I always thought Ratatouille was just a children's programming. you
Little
know,
Disney
a
mouse.
little Disney mouse, right. But actually, y'all tell me it's actually a dish, right?
Little Disney mouse in the house at a restaurant. No, this ratatouille actually is some eggplant, it's often got yellow squash, but today we're using zucchini, which you find in the ratatouille all the time. Tomato is an essential ingredient, and the squashes and the tomato are essential to a ratatouille. And basically, you can use any other vegetables that won't change the flavor or add to it
Right.
rather
the
than
eggplant is
take
the-
from it.
is the star.
Right.
Eggplant and the starches are the star for this
And
dish.
y'all were actually saying this was kind of like the griots and grits. This was
It
kind of
goes, yeah, it can be a
hearty.
peasant dish. Now, I mean, upscale restaurants,
Right.
you're going to pay an arm and a leg for it. I mean, it's
But you can do it and it's turned into a vegan thing too, right?
I mean,
It is.
yeah, it's all pretty much all vegetables. Here we got some onion, celery, bell pepper, and some garlic. Saute
Nice
that
color.
down.
Speaking of high end, as Tony mentioned, the ratatouille went from being a peasant dish to a high end dish you find in nice restaurants. Over here we've got this bottle of wine we were talking about earlier, this Cabernet Sauvignon.
Right.
And
The
this is a
Camus.
this is a Camus. This is one of our upscale bottles of wine.
Right.
And again, Mr. Lane,
Lane
Mr.
Bates.
Lane Bates at our store will be happy, more than happy, to match your wines and pair them with the foods that you're having on your table.
Right.
And that goes right up to having a catered event.
Right.
Speaking of catering, everybody knows our event solutions. Actually, that part of our company is one of our strongest and busiest
Right.
this time of the year.
Oh yeah, well yeah, have a party, you know, and again, from Lane through the butchers to you guys, you can just ask around. Nobody's, you know, everybody's walking around looking for somebody to help for sure over Cannatas, so that's no problem. There's no charge for the intelligence that you can gather from walking around the place.
Absolutely not. You talk to our salespeople, you talk to our event planners, everything from floral all the way down to all the other accompaniments and accoutrements and decor.
Right, and it's cool. I mean, you're right, and this is one of those things we talk about cooking a lot of times with the smell, with the sight, and seeing it, but also having a nice bottle of wine to kind of impress your friends. Like, hey, this is a great bottle of wine, a Camus, and you know, people that know wine.
Makes a great gift.
Right, sure does.
I'm looking at these colors and I'm just
Yeah.
real.
Yeah, that's
interested.
spectacular.
Some fresh Roma tomatoes, some zucchini, and we'll add some eggplant, and then some carrots. Again, if you want to be lazy, don't want to do all the chopping, you know, a lot of us we have done already. And if you just want to do larger chunks, it's going to take a little bit longer to cook.
Yeah. Some people actually put that on rice or will serve that as a dish itself.
Right, over pasta,
Exactly.
you know.
Okay, great.
Exactly.
Once
All right.
it cooks down, you know, you can go ahead and, you know, you can do it as I call it either a salsa or a pico de gallo kind of thing where it's not really broken down. You still have the texture of the vegetables, or almost to cook it down almost like a ragu.
Okay. All right. Well, good. We're going to cook that down. We're going to cook down the 7 steak. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back to show you how you can watch this on YouTube. Plus, we'll see the great reveal right here on Cannatas in the Kitchen.